Hey guys, welcome back to the JTS Podcast. If you are not coming back and this is your first time, then welcome to the JTS Podcast. I'm Tom. James, you can see in the top left. Shane, you can see just above us here, top right. How you guys doing today?
Not too bad, mate. Not too
Yeah,
bad.
all right. Yeah.
Now,
Rough.
I was going to say, I know for a fact both of you have been awake not too long when we started filming this. People are like a late start today. Man, it's that kind of thing. I think that's what lockdown does to you, though, doesn't it? When every day is sort of
Same.
inside, same old. Yeah, it gets very, very
I feel
monotonous.
fine. I just had to get an extra hour sleeping, but it's what it is.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry.
I respect
The
it.
days
very
keep
close.
rolling. I'm just being a bit lazy at the moment, but work's coming back with all the announcements. So, you got to keep on top of everything.
Yeah. It's just getting back into that kind of system now, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's all it is. But today is my topic day. I'm very excited. I've got a couple of different topics I'm going to go over. 3 very different topics. Do you guys want to hear the topics, all of them now? Or do you want to just hear them as we get to them?
One by one.
Yeah, one
One by one.
We,
All right.
By the way, people, we don't know what these topics are.
No.
Right.
Shane knows one topic because I accidentally spilled the beans on one topic.
Well, yeah.
But I'll do that one first. All right. It's football based. It's to do with European football. So the Champions League and the Europa League. Now, I think all of the Europa League, have had their first legs now. And a lot of the Champions League have kicked off. Some of them are playing the night we're recording this. So some of them haven't happened yet. But I just want to get your guys' thoughts on who you guys think are going to win the whole thing. And a couple of teams that you think are going to be a little bit like underdog, teams that you think are going to do well. I've got the teams in front of me if you guys want me to go through the teams that are there. So we'll start with the Champions League. So if we say Juve Porto, obviously 2-1 in the first leg to Porto. Who do you guys think are going through?
I reckon Juve will come back second. I think they have a very good team. I think they're gonna obviously switch it up. If Porto go through, that'll be a massive upset for Juve.
That'd be mad, wouldn't it?
I think Juve will get through, just the fact of having Ronaldo. He is very good in the Champions League, and I don't think he'll go out in the first knockout stages.
It would be crazy if he did. I'm of the same opinion. I think Juve are going to step it up at the home game and just gonna go for it.
Yeah, that was my question. I can't actually remember if Juve were at home or not. But
Yeah.
if Juve are at home in the second leg, then I think they'll win. I don't think Porto have got enough in the tank probably to go far in the Champions League like Juve probably would. I know Juve's team isn't as great quality as previous years. Obviously losing the likes of, even when that team Pjanic has gone to Barcelona, but he's better suited there.
Yeah.
I think Barcelona's team, Juve's team probably will overcome Porto in the second leg, mainly because of Ronaldo, and I think he just has that he has that winning mentality, and I think he'll just pull his team through in the end. They only need 2 or 1 in one goal. So it was an away goal, right? So
Yeah. So a 1-0 win gets them through. I think they'll win it. I think even if it goes to extra time, I think they'll win it. I just see them going through. Like you say, I don't see Ronaldo or Juventus particularly going out.
Who's Juve's manager now? Is it still? It's
Pirlo.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So relatively new, but obviously someone who knows the club really well and just knows Italian football really well as well. So, right, next game is Dortmund-Sevilla. Now, this was a bit of a mad first leg. It was 3-2 in the end to Dortment, and that was at Sevilla. For that reason, I think Dortmund will go through. I don't see Sevilla outscoring Dortmund at Dortmund, personally. Because I think the game... Wait, will the game be in Germany, actually? Because it's Germany that's often the awkward one, isn't it?
It'll probably be something like Hungary, I suppose.
It will probably be. Well, actually, to be fair, Juventus have been playing a lot of games. Like a lot of games are being played at Juventus, so it could be maybe because to be fair, Italy's nearer Spain, but I don't know. Regardless, I think Dortmund are going to go through that one. I think they've got just a very good squad right now.
Yeah, I mean, Haaland's been on fire recently, so I don't see why Dortmund wouldn't have a opportunity of going through. You know, it could possibly be a Dortmund-Juve final or I don't know, say Bayern Munich, for example. Like Bayern Munich are on form recently. I think they won 4-1 in their last game as well.
Yeah, against Lazio.
Yeah, so I think they're a strong side as well. So it could be 2 of them 3 teams I reckon that we'll see in the final.
Fair enough.
Sure.
What do you reckon, James, between Dortmund and Sevilla?
I don't know, there could be an upset because Sevilla's team all rounded is actually quite good. And Dortmund are known in German football and European football to be very inconsistent. Because I think they're at the moment like 7th in the Bundesliga. I think Dortmund. They're not doing very well in German football.
I will double check for you.
I think they are around there. You quickly check that for me. Last time I looked, they were down 7th, 8th. I think so. It was like Leipzig, Bayern Munich. They weren't doing too well in the Bundesliga. I do not think. They've shot up a couple.
They're
of spaces,
6th. They're 6th right now.
Yes, they've moved up a couple of spaces, but they're a bit inconsistent there. The only thing you can probably say with Dortmund is that with the 3 goals they've got away, they're more likely just going to set up and just try go through by either getting a draw or just hit Sevilla on the counter attack through Sancho, Guerrero, Haaland, all that lot. But I think Dortmund should easily see that one through because I don't think Sevilla have as much quality up front than Dortmund. But you don't know. You really don't know. There's only 1 goal in it. So
yeah.
I think wouldn't they have to score 2 because of the 3 away goals?
Yeah, so if Sevilla won 1-0, Dortmund would still go through. So they have to outscore. That's a very good point, actually.
I don't know if you got extra time or not.
That is a very good point because the away goals system is different this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Regardless, I think all 3 of us are fairly like. If we had to guess, we'd say Dortmund, right? I think is what we're saying. All right. Next one, I think is a relatively easy one to decide. PSG Barcelona. I don't see Barcelona coming back from a 4-1 loss, especially it was at Barca. I don't see them going to France and turning around a 4-1. A couple of years ago, that crazy return around again against PSG for sure. They haven't got the squad. They haven't got the form. They haven't even really got Messi playing that well at the moment. I don't think they've got a chance of going through on this one. I think it's curtains to them in the Champions League this season already.
Yeah, no, I totally agree there. Because obviously, when they played Liverpool that time, where Liverpool were losing by 4 goals, or 3 goals.
And Liverpool won. They lost 3-1.
Yeah, and Liverpool made that comeback. That was just probably one of the highlights of the year that year.
Yeah,
and I just don't think Barcelona are up to that exact standard. As you said, like Messi's not performing really well, so I don't think he's got the mentality to carry that team through.
Not at the moment, no.
I think PSG with Mbappe's doing phenomenal. Yeah, I just think PSG will run them all over the park, to be fair.
Yeah, and that was without Neymar as well, that first game, which, although I'm not the biggest fan of Neymar, you can't deny that on his day, he can run a game. Like, he can just absolutely run a game.
He's very talented, yes.
But yeah. What do you reckon, James? PSG through or upset?
PSG easily. Barcelona just are shambles.
Oh, for sure.
Spanish football. If you're a Spanish person watching this podcast or support Real Madrid or follow Real Madrid and Barcelona, I'm sorry, but it's curtains for Spanish football at the moment. Like, Spanish football is on decline. Real Madrid aren't really going anywhere. With Zidane as manager anyway, getting back a manager who said that the club couldn't meet his ambitions. He went to go out to a Chinese club to get loads of money, didn't get that job, and then come back to Real Madrid. I think that's poor from the board to allow him to come back.
Yeah,
even as a club legend. But I just think Barcelona in general, like the players they're signing are always aging. They're never really the players they're bringing through, like Pedri, Trincao, Puig, and all that lot. Like they are very young and they're coming through, which will probably be good players in the future. But at this current moment in time, Barcelona are just a bit stale. Like when they're in a losing position, people love to say Messi's the best player in the world, which I understand. For me, the way I'd word it is that Messi is the most skillful player, and then Ronaldo's the best winner. Personally, I think that's how you phrase them together.
Yeah.
But Messi's winning mentality is just not there. If he's losing, he's just got his head down, walking around the pitch, and he ain't gonna lift that team up what they need. There's also likes of Suarez, who still is a goal scorer, doing things of Atletico Madrid. No, they lost last night to Chelsea, which was a big upset, to be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's only 1-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's still that away goal as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think Barcelona just got nothing left, really. I think PK's kind of just aging. So.
Yeah,
I think they're just... And PSG somehow have got Moise Kean firing, which is pretty cool to see as well.
I think it's impressive to see how much he's turned it on. Like, a lot of people were saying, how, well, he can't even get into the Everton team. How's he going to get in the PSG team? And he's proven his worth right now. He's doing decent. So, yeah, fair play to him. And I agree. I think PSG are pretty much through in that one. We touched base very quickly on the Chelsea Atletico game. Obviously 1-0 in the first leg. Very much surprised, especially when you look at the team that they actually put out. I thought they're going to be in a little bit of a... I don't know. It just didn't look like an overly exciting team. I just looked at it and thought, that's going to be a bit of a troublesome game for them. But credit to them, they did get the goal. They got the lead, a nice goal as well from Giroud. Obviously, a big one for them. They're missing Mount in the second leg. He's suspended for the next game. But what do you guys think? Do you reckon Chelsea can hold on to it? They're home for the second game. Do you reckon they're going to hold on to it, or do you reckon Atletico come back?
It's a tough question because obviously they're both two very equal sides, to say the least, in the footballing world. I mean, Madrid are, to a certain extent, I feel like the better team.
Mm-hmm.
That's no disrespect to Chelsea.
No, disrespect when you want. It's Chelsea, it's all right.
But I just think I don't know if Chelsea can perform like, to a certain extent, much better than Madrid. Obviously, it took them a long time to score last night. Therefore, obviously, I'm not sure. It's going to be a close game, but I reckon Madrid will turn it over, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. James, what do you reckon?
So I don't know. I feel like Chelsea might go through because the way Atletico Madrid approach football is very defensive. Simeone's a very defensive coach, and seems to like park the bus in most games and just stick that out. I don't know. Atletico Madrid top of the league right now.
They've lost two games in a row. I'm fairly sure they're still top of the league.
They're still top.
They're still top by 3 points.
But who's second? Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, but they do have a game in hand, Atletico Madrid as well. So
Spanish football's in the mud. So yeah, I think Chelsea will win this one. I think missing Mount will be big, but if they can get players like Havertz and DH firing when Mount is in the team, then that shouldn't really be a problem.
Yeah.
But I do actually think Mount is an incredible footballer. Like ever since I wasn't his biggest fan. Obviously, called him a fraud compared to Eze, but obviously that was just QPR based.
What do you mean?
But I think Mount is a good player. I think Ziyech really just has a left foot, and that's it. Havertz probably will come good eventually somehow. But I think Chelsea will win this one. I think they've got enough at the moment to probably go through. I don't know how far they'll go, but I think Atletico Madrid at the moment are just a bit out of sorts. Obviously, like you said, they've lost two on the trot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think Simeone's approach to this game probably, if he does go all out attack, then I could see him turning Chelsea over. But I think Tuchel's record in the Champions League isn't great. Obviously, got to a final last year. But he hasn't really done much other than win French Cups. But we'll see. It's the thing in Champions League this year. It's so open because of the turnover of how the games have to be played because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So certain games could be fatigued. Certain teams could be fatigued compared to other teams. So even if they're not good as quality, like Porto beat Juventus, I think Juventus are like 11 games, like 3 days, 11 games or something like that. Because Italian football is like on the go all the time. So
yeah.
I don't know. It's a tricky one. I'm going to say Chelsea because of that goal, and I think they've got enough quality to hold it out. If you say Lampard's in charge, I would have said that Atletico Madrid will go through because Lampard's tactical approach to second legs normally isn't great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to stick with Chelsea. That pains me to say because I hate Chelsea, but yeah.
Well, I think it's a tough one. For me, I think it's the toughest one to call out of all of them. Like you said about Simeone being really defensive, I think what's been really good for Atletico this season is they've not done that, and then all of a sudden he does that, and they lose a game, and you just think if they've been playing the kind of attacking brand of football that they had been playing for most of this season, they probably would have been too much for Chelsea. If they do that in the second leg, like you say, I think it could go either way. But honestly, just because they're the English team, even though it's Chelsea, I'm gonna say back Chelsea to win it. But I think this is the closest one out of all of them. Not just because of the score. I think genuinely this is like the closest leg that could genuinely go either way. One we kind of talked about a little bit as well, the Bayern Lazio. Obviously, Bayern winning it 4-1. I personally think that is curtains. That was at Lazio as well, so I don't see them turning that around. They weren't very good in the game anyway. Sorry?
No, not really much discussion on that one, is it? It's just Bayern. I think Bayern will probably not going to win it again.
For me, they're my joint favourites. I probably, if I had to pick one team, I probably would pick Bayern, but they're right up there with one or two teams for me. But yeah, I think it's probably fairly unanimous that they're probably going to make it through.
Yeah.
So we'll just go straight to the next one. Liverpool-Leipzig, 2-0 to Liverpool in the first leg. This game will be at Liverpool. What do you guys think of that? Who do you reckon?
Liverpool win.
I think Liverpool gonna. I'm calling this right now. I don't know why. Because I'm in a stinky season in the Prem, I think Liverpool are gonna win the Champo.
You reckon they're gonna win the whole thing?
I think they're gonna win the whole thing. even with their injuries, I think Liverpool are a different breed in the Champions League. I know last year they went out to Atletico Madrid, but that was because of their complacency, I think, and because they needed to win the league and they kind of like get big-headed. But I think they might be brought down to earth maybe when either Van Dijk comes back, Jota's coming back, Gomez, all these names that they've had missing who are very influential. I think they were top of the league when Jota got injured, and obviously Jota's gone. I think it's mad. I think Jota is at the moment levels above Firmino, and when he plays that centre forward role, he brings in Salah and Mane, and I think they just haven't been the same since Firmino's had a bit of a dip. And I think Jota, it's mad to think how he's come from Wolves and got in that new role in Liverpool, and is incredible.
Yeah.
So I think when Jota comes back, Henderson comes back. So I know he's injured again. When they get all their players back, Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain proper playing again, I think Liverpool can be a big thing. I think next year in the Premier League will be different because obviously Liverpool, there's always that setback season every year in the Premier for that team that win it. They always go and have a bit of a stinky season, like some City, Chelsea, even Leicester. I know Leicester won't be the same, but I think if we've got a prediction, is for me Liverpool going to win it. I think Liverpool going to go through.
Fair enough.
Jump the gun, but it is what it is.
I reckon they'll definitely get through against Leipzig. Leipzig were a little bit off the boil. And I agree, the players missing and stuff definitely impact it. I think the way they play with Jota, rather than the way they play with Firmino in the team, is a much better brand of football, and they play much more exciting football. I'm not going to say I think they're going to win it. I think depending on the draw, I think they can probably make it to the semis fairly comfortably, depending on who they come up against. But, like you say, with those players coming back, all that's going to do is strengthen them. And if they're able to turn over a team like Leipzig, who aren't a bad side, 2-0 fairly comfortably at their own stadium, then it could be that I maybe disrespect them a little bit by saying I think they'll just get to the semi. So I hear it.
The thing with my thought of that is that because how poorly Liverpool play in the Premier League and how good other teams are playing, such as Leicester, City, even West Ham, I just think that might be Liverpool's only way in certain Champions League football.
Yeah, I hear that.
I honestly don't think, if they carry on this form with the injuries they're getting at the moment in the Prem, because of how many games are being played back to back, I don't feel confident in the fact of Liverpool getting top 4.
Yeah, it's looking less and less certain with every week. Yeah, I 100% agree. But onto a team that are playing very well in the Premier League is Man City versus Mönchengladbach. Try again. They haven't played their first leg, I don't think. I'm fairly sure.
Yeah, they haven't.
That's tonight. Yeah. So I would say for me, the only team that I think are going to be competing with Bayern Munich this year in the Champions League is Man City. I do genuinely think the way they're playing right now, the players that they've managed to go from playing decent in the last couple of years to it seems like every single box of player they are missing, apart from maybe an Aguero replacement, but when they're scoring as many goals as they are without De Bruyne and without an actual striker, I seriously think that they're going to win at least one trophy this season, minimum. I think the Prem is pretty much theirs. If they just don't drop points, no one's catching them. I honestly think they could do the double this year, and I think they're the only team that are going to compete with Bayern Munich. So I reckon City are going to win tonight, but win the whole thing in general.
Fair enough. I see where you're coming from, because obviously the goals they're scoring without Aguero, who's a great striker. Jesus hasn't really been at it massively. Obviously Gundogan's been scoring a lot of goals. Sterling's been sharing the goals. Mahrez. Obviously the players they've got bench wise, obviously they've got Bernardo Silva they could bring in. Rodri is obviously playing. Fernandinho, I think City have been a lot better since Fernandinho can play in that CDM role.
Yeah, for sure.
Rather than at centre backs, he's not really quick enough to play centre back. They've got Stones back again, which is vital for them. I think Stones, when he doesn't make up stupid mistakes and pass the ball to opponents or do anything stupid, he actually is a world-class defender.
Him and Diaz are probably the best partnership at the moment.
And to kick Laporte out of that team is a massive statement from Stones, because Laporte is an incredible defender as well. So it shows the depth they've got. Just matter to think how City would play if they had 5 at the back. Imagine Walker getting forward, Cancelo getting forward, Zinchenko.
Yeah.
They played that way. But no, I think hopefully we can have an English team win it.
Yeah, for sure. Just not Chelsea.
Yeah, just not Chelsea. No, I'm not Chelsea. But yeah, I guess Guardiola needs that, because he's won the Champions League every other country, every other club apart from City. And the amount of money he's put into this team, they need this.
They do,
really. And I can see it being a City Liverpool final.
I think that'll be a very interesting
two times
final.
in a row because I just don't think that. Correct me if I'm wrong. They've only won it twice. Once was that when they beat Dortmund and they beat. Who was the other team? Juventus. Was that Barcelona? I can't remember who it was. But I don't think there's been many teams other than Real Madrid when Ronaldo was there. Many teams gone to retain the Champions League. So.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Shane, about, I guess, City in general? Kind of ignoring Mönchengladbach because I don't think we're giving them much of a chance.
As I said, like obviously, if they're eventually going to get to the final, I do see a strong potential of them winning.
Mm-hmm.
And as James says, they've got a very strong side, bringing in Stones and all that. But yeah, like obviously, if they keep up with their current form, then there shouldn't be nothing like stopping them from obviously pulling out the title and whatnot. Yeah, I just think overall strong side, very very talented team. They're just going to dominate, I reckon. I am contradicting myself though because I do think like a team like PSG, if they match City in the final, I do think PSG have that mentality to take it further than what City do.
It's such a big tournament this year because of how many sides are performing. You've got lots of PSG, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Man City, even Juventus. I don't think Juventus will win it. I don't think they've got enough quality at bar Ronaldo.
I think at the back they're a bit suspect.
Yeah, but PSG... PSG like got on the radar. Obviously, they got Mbappe, and I think Mbappe is gonna. It kind of reflects it. You know, we're talking about next generation in the Champions League. Got Haaland and Mbappe. Even Dortmund are there. Like you don't know. You just don't know because European football's a lot different over 2 legs. Obviously, location where it's being played because of the pandemic. There's not really a home away advantage depending on what countries they're playing from. So European football's a lot different. Like Liverpool could end up turning up and being really good. Obviously, when they got to the final. That year they were like 4th or something in the Prem. So it really just depends on the form of the team and the status of injuries because of fatigue and everything like that. So you can call it team by team, but you don't know. I don't know how to call it, but like I said, people call me deluded because normally my opinions on football are quite weird. But I think Liverpool personally might win.
But as I said, like there's some very strong and young talented sides, obviously in UEFA Champions League, and obviously it depends on the night who wants it more. Like if you're going in half-hearted, then you're not going to win. You've got to be committed. You've got to play your heart out for the team. So on the night, whenever it happens, whoever wants it more will win. That's pretty much as simple as it can be spoken.
Yeah, and I think with the last game that we haven't spoken about, I think that is going to be a really good example of that. Their first leg is tonight, and that's Atalanta Real Madrid. And I think what you said about who wants it more, I genuinely think tonight is going to be a really good example of that because Real Madrid on paper, especially over the last couple of years, should win that game. You'd be like, yep, Real Madrid, it's a fairly straightforward decision. Atalanta are a team that don't stop until that last minute. They are a team that seems to really try and grind games out. Got some decent players. Again, a bit of an under-the-radar kind of team. I think that could be a really interesting game. I think I would back Real Madrid to win the leg or win the across the 2, but... It's tough. It's tough to call, man. I think it's 2 very, very interesting sides. Is how I word it right now.
I think Atalanta might take that one personally.
I think they could. I think if I had to put money on it, I'd go Real Madrid. But I wouldn't be surprised if Atalanta did come through and win it across 2 legs.
I don't think Real Madrid aren't great against sides that have a better work ethic than them. Can you say? I don't think Real Madrid have seen that press a lot, and I think Atalanta have got that. Like mentality that they'll just press and won't stop and stop, kind of like the English version of Leeds, which obviously Leeds in Champions League is not going to happen, hopefully.
Not yet.
But Atalanta press and press. Like because you saw an example in did Atalanta beat Liverpool in the group stage this year? Was it this year or last year?
I don't think so.
I don't remember actually. I actually don't remember. I'll be honest with you.
Might be another English team. I don't actually know, but Atalanta with the likes of Gomez, Ilicic. I think because Real Madrid lost in the cup to Spanish League B side, I think, and that's just like kind of because I just don't think that I just don't rate Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid are personally.
Well, that's what goes to my point. Like it depends on the night who wants it more. So like as you said, like if they're facing a lower tier team, they're thinking, oh yeah. We're gonna easily turn them over. Whereas on the night that they got dominated, if you're too overconfident, if you're too cocky, you're gonna end up losing. That's just how I see football, as a bystander sort of thing.
As if you're a QPR fan, we're just crap. But anyway.
Well, you say that. You say that. Going up, mate. But that's most of the Champions League kind of covered. Now that has been about 25 minutes. So I think instead of going through each of the Europa League teams, we'll just go with who you guys think will potentially win it, even if you narrow it down to like 2. As to who you think can win it. If you want me to go through the teams, I'll happily go through them.
Well, let me just say this now. I don't think Arsenal have a chance.
Not when you've still got to play out of Trapped again, mate. I don't blame you.
What, we play Benfica tomorrow, I think it is.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, so I just don't see us having a chance.
Benfica?
Yeah.
It's great, mate.
Yeah,
it's
great.
Ado had a game, bro. He had a game. Right, so I'll go through the teams that are still in it. So you've got Tottenham and then Wolfsburg, but that's not the German Wolfsburg. It's the, I think, are they Polish? I can't remember. You've got Ajax and Lille, Napoli, Granada, Shakhtar, and then Tel Aviv, Rangers and Antwerp, Arsenal, Benfica, Hoffenheim and Molde, Villarreal and Salzburg, Leicester, Slavia Praha. You've got Milan and, I don't know how to say that, Crvena Zvezda is how I'm going to try and say that. Club Brugge, Dinamo Kiev, Man United, Sociedad, Roma Braga, Leverkusen, Young Boys, Dinamo Zagreb, Krasnodar, PSV, and Olympiacos. Those are all the teams that are left. I don't mind starting. I honestly think United are going to win it this year. I think they are looking pretty good. I think depending on how things kind of drop in between the different teams, a team that I thought would do pretty well was Leverkusen, but they lost 4-3 in their first leg against Young Boys. Yeah, I think it was a late turnaround from Young Boys, I think. But it was 4-3 in the end to Young Boys. I thought that was a very, very impressive result from them. But I honestly think on paper, United's team has got to be one of the strongest. The only other team that I thought would maybe compete with them was Napoli, but they lost their first leg against Granada. Granada beat them 2-0. And I was quite surprised by that one.
So that's what I mean about European football.
Yeah, exactly. It's on the night. It's like you say, you can't just go with, this team's better than that. It's down to how they play. It's down to a bunch of different things. So I personally think, just looking at, even if you just look at the first legs, it was one of the most dominant performances. And I personally think that was one of the toughest ties, United Sociedad. I thought that was a really good match sort of leg.
Sociedad aren't a bad team.
Yeah, and United went out and absolutely bodied them 4-0. So for me personally, I think they're looking good for it this year. I reckon they might win it.
No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, they won 4-0 in their first game?
Yeah.
Against them. So yeah, very strong side. As I said, I don't think Arsenal, being an Arsenal fan, I don't think we've got a hope in hell chance of making the final. Rangers, I see as an underdog, personally. I think they've performed very well recently. Again, Leicester could be another dark horse. You know, that they've recently been on form.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but as you said, though, I couldn't agree more. I do think United are going to win the entire thing. I don't think Napoli have a chance, in my personal opinion, either. I just don't think they're up to standards of having that chance. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. I think United to dominate, and I reckon Rangers are going to be like a dark horse, maybe top 8 or last 8, should I say?
Fair enough. Go on, James. What do you reckon?
I think United will win it. Like Shane said, I think I always thought Rangers would be a dark horse. I think they haven't lost this year.
I don't think so.
I don't think they've lost a game of football this year, which is mental. Yeah. They're still very clear in the Scottish League. I say Spanish League, they'll probably win the Spanish League this the Scottish League. Obviously, and that game was incredible. We've watched the highlights of the Antwerp game.
4-3 went it in the end.
Mental.
Yeah, 4-3.
Mad.
Which is mental, because even Antwerp you wouldn't really consider as a European side, but I mean, side.
I wasn't going to say it.
But no, Leicester obviously have got good players at the moment. They've got players performing like Mendy again, that little man in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
When I say little man. Ndidi obviously could play as well. So I think, like Shane said, I'm actually agreeing with Shane. I think underdogs will be Leicester or Rangers. If Napoli can turn it around, obviously got the Mertens, Insigne, not Calot, he's at Fiorentina now. James, come on, FIFA. Yeah, I think Man United will win it. I think the players they've obviously got Cavani, Rashford, Martial. A very, very good team. And to turn over a team like Real Sociedad 4-0, who have good players as well, to be honest. With a player that's won a player of the month twice in Spain as well. They're not any pushovers. So I think Man United probably win it. I think it'll be a Man United, Leicester, or I think Milan could do well as well. They're not push over Milan. Obviously, Ibra still there. Whether we can do it in the final at his age, you don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna say Man United to win. I think it'll be my last four. I'm gonna predict. I think it's gonna be Arsenal, Rangers, Man United, and Leicester. Yeah, that's been my last four.
I think
Arsenal will do all right.
I think Leicester could do okay. I think they had a bit of an off game in their first one because it's a team that they really should probably beat, and it was a bit of a dud kind of game. The only team for me that I think could be a little bit of an underdog is Roma. I think Roma have got quite an experienced side, but I think they've got quite a good side. I think against the wrong kind of team, again depending on how the legs go and how the games go, I think they could be shown up by a team maybe like United or like a countering team like Leicester. But I think they've got the experience that they could maybe see a game out if they come up against the right people and maybe go a little bit further than people would expect. But that's been like half an hour. I mean, I had 3 topics. I will happily chop it down to 2. Do you guys want to go over like one last sort of topic before we round this one up?
I don't mind. Unless you could like drop it into the other topic, I don't mind. Do you want to mention what the other topic was though, or do you want to say that for another podcast?
Well, I'll go with this one because I think this is a bit of a shorter one. This one's FIFA based. And it's to do with this promo that a lot of people are kind of talking about potentially being a thing, this what if promo, right? So it kind of made me think of some what if questions for you guys based on FIFA. Okay. So if you guys are up for it, I've got a couple of what ifs to do with FIFA. And the first one would be if you could pick like one consistent promo to add to each FIFA every single year, what would that kind of promo be about? So what if you could add one promo to FIFA, what would that promo be about? And if you guys want a little bit of like an insight, like my kind of thoughts is I would have like a flashback styled promo based on big players now, like earlier in their career. So like we had the Ronaldo, that kind of thing. If earlier on in the year we had a lot of high-rated players who are experienced players, like the Ronaldo, like a Messi, like an Ibra, like these kind of things. Some of them would be higher rated than their current cards. Some of them would be lower rated than their current cards. But it's like a flashback promo as to an older club. And I know they couldn't do it, but the dream for that promo would be that it was actually a flashback to the club they're at. So that Ronaldo card, for example, would be a Man United card. And Messi's card obviously would be Barcelona, but like Ibra's could be based on when he was, abroad somewhere else or wherever, like when he was at PSG, or when he was at Barca or wherever, I think that kind of promo. So if I could add one promo, it would be like a flashback styled promo, but the players would be at the clubs they're flashback to, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So like their greatest moments at that certain club, maybe.
Yeah, it could be a thing that happened to get them a transfer.
It's essentially like an icon, but obviously a flashback.
Yeah, similar players that are still playing.
Yeah.
There you go. That's my what if promo question thing.
I mean, there's been a good few promos. Like obviously we had Foot Birthday from last year, which was a good promo. This year we've had Foot Freeze.
Yeah.
I think that was a great promo itself. With like the La, the Awa, the Golovin, like the different position change cards. For me personally, I'm not 100% sure on what promo I'd like. I mean, there's been a few in the past that have been amazing, like Record Breakers and all that. It's tough to pick. It's tough to pick because I guess for this year, the Freeze promo has been the best promo for me personally, just because of the players that I'd never thought I'd see, like be an SBC and be able to use them cards for a certain amount of period. So yeah, something along the lines of Foot Freeze, maybe like a few different cards, like some youngsters that we'd never actually see get an SBC card and obviously be able to use them and obviously have the boosted stats and whatnot. That's what I'd have.
Okay, fair enough. And James, what are you saying? What are you thinking?
I have two ideas.
Okay.
I'll go with my first idea. My first idea would be like, it's kind of like, like a moments card, like an icon moments, but like player moments as well. To like combine them to like certain occasions or goal scorers in cup finals.
Right.
So like, say Bobby Zamora, like not at the moment, but like Bobby Zamora where he scored that against Derby, that kind of way. So like a vital moment in maybe a World Cup final, a European final. Something to go along that. So say Drogba's goal against Bayern Munich, just get them back in it. But obviously players that don't have them cards, obviously make it worth that they are. And I think another sick promo they could add, which could be, I guess, could be controversial because it's not like something you could probably do like realistically, but like maybe, in certain games where you get like blueprints and you can create your own stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe like, say if you got a certain amount of coins, or maybe they add like SBC tokens or something like that in the next FIFA or something. Maybe like you can create your own card based on requirements from tokens, like icon tokens.
Yeah.
Like say a certain position requires how many tokens, and then say if you want to get a certain player, say if you want to go out and get, I don't know, create at the moment you can maybe get like a centre mid. Let me think, like a. Say I want to get like a special Sissoko rather than his like Europa League thing. Create that card from using tokens. So you have to get so many tokens to create your own cards through like SBCs.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Would be something cool, like to craft something. Like it's like a care package, but you do it bit by bit.
That's something you can actually grind as well without having to put money in. You can just be like, right, I'm going to do that.
Your own creation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like pay to win.
No, 100%. All right, no, that's good.
Yeah, you've got to be some sort of like level-headed idiots to do that.
To be fair, something on a similar kind of like idea to that. This was kind of like another what-if question. If you could add one new SBC style thing to the game, whether it's something that's been in the game before and they're taken out, or whether it's something that you want to like add in, what would it be? And my idea from that was actually something fairly similar, which was like an upgrade system. So you know how you've got like the bronze upgrades you can put into silvers then you could put them into golds. One thing I was thinking, and this was kind of like an idea I got from playing Rocket League over the last couple of days with like Shane, I was playing with Elliot and stuff, was how you can put those things in like of a similar quality into a thing and upgrade it to one of the other. I was thinking like if you had SBCs like that where you had to put in X amount of players to like upgrade to like a special card of some sort. So like it would be like a guaranteed inform for like 11 rare gold players, but that inform would have like a cap rating, and then you'd have to submit like 11 informs of that cap rating to unlock a special card of some sort between, say like an 80 to like a 85, and then if you did 11 of those you could do like an 86 to a 90, like an upgrade system where you can actually get these players that are these higher ratings. It's going to take a long time to do it because, again, realistically, you have to get 11 of those low-rated informs, which is going to cost you like over 100 rare golds, and then those 11 like low-rated informs give you one mid-rated special card, and then you've got to get another 11 of them to get the top-rated one. Like for the average grinder, that would take a long time, but for somebody who's willing to sit and put time into the game and stuff, it would mean that you could get yourself like a 90-rated card just by spending time in the game instead of having to put money in and be like, oh, I want to buy someone good for my team. It would be somewhat like viable and an actual decent method to be able to grind that up. I just thought that was kind of like you said with the token system. It would be something similar. Like even if you submit those players in, you get a token instead of an actual player. Like something that gives you an opportunity to grind towards something that doesn't mean you have to go and put X amount of money in the game to have half a chance of doing it. I think that would be like an interesting kind of idea. And the only other thing I'd bring back would be players in League SBCs. That would be the only other thing I'd bring back.
That'd be massive. Things like, personally for me, like, like Movember and like FIFA 19, they had like there was special cards based on Movember in SBCs that we don't get these days. Was there a Movember promo this year?
No.
Like
that wasn't last year, I don't think.
I think it's because of the delay of the game, personally.
Yeah, but like even little promos like that, like I feel like in previous FIFAs there's always been things you can unlock. Or like promos, there's always like say like flashback David Silva come out, or a flashback Rooney, or just things like that. There was always things out for you to grind to or to do. Whereas now there's a Kroos, yeah, cool, but like there's always multiple things to do. Like, I remember Ibrahimovic, come out in like FIFA 19. You could unlock that. Like little promos like that. It's just limited things, like one a day and stuff. Like for the average player of FIFA, they want to try and get as much as possible into the team and make the game fun. But
yeah.
I don't know. What was your question again?
So if you could add one SBC style thing to the game, or like you said with like the grinding tokens and stuff to unlock special cards, etc. Things like that. Like if you could add one new, either like an SBC system or something new to SBCs, or bring something back, what would it be?
I think either, like upgrade packs, like you said.
Yeah.
But be able to put in 11 rare golds for an inform of any team of the week.
Yeah.
Because you've got bronze, silver, gold, one special card upgrade. You can get any special card in the game for a certain amount of, like, maybe an 83 rated team. Get any special card you want. It'll be any rating, but that's just a risk you take.
Yeah.
Or maybe say 81 up from 83 squad, any special rating. Or just icon SBCs that don't cost an arm.
Yeah.
In old FIFAs, I think there was one I was watching like ages ago, Moments SBC. There was like one that required like 383 squads for a Moments icon. Just be nice, and do something like that. Even like a mid icon, like maybe an 83 and 84.
Yeah.
Not everyone has so much more. Like cheaper icon, like a mid icon 600k. Great. Well, I'll pack myself a mid Vieri, shall I?
Yeah.
Like things like that. Like just cheaper SBCs. Not everyone's got 1 million coins to spend or £1,000 to spend just to do an icon.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
But I think if they bring a special card upgrade, that'd be pretty cool. Like the Foot Champions upgrade, but like maybe for special cards, maybe 11 informs or something. Like you get the crap informs from packs, like the 75 that are unusable in any SBCs are untradeable.
Yeah.
Cards like them you can put in to get any special card in the game. That'd be cool. Just packing like maybe a record breaker Mbappe, which will probably never happen to me because my pack that's awful at the moment. But you know what I mean? Like that would be cool.
See,
even if you're streaming, there's nothing out. If there's nothing out, you can stream that and do that.
Yeah.
At the moment, I went to stream yesterday and I just done the FGS challenge, wherever it was. And other than that, there was nothing else to do. Like I would love to sit there and do objectives, but I don't have the mentality to do it. I've done all of the finals up to the 82, I think, and I just can't be bothered to sit there and do it. Because I just believe that it would take me ages. I'd rather just chill.
No, I hear that.
I don't know. It's difficult. I want to do it, but one uni, I've got like loads of assignments in 3 weeks. It's like anyway, going off topic, but that's what I'd like.
Yeah.
Nah, fair enough. Go on, Shane. What are you thinking?
Well, it's a bit off topic, but it's still to do with FIFA. I think maybe like a slot machine sort of thing. So for example, like a little concept being like obviously you can get free cards from this certain slot machine, where you implement cards of a certain rating or certain like rare speciality in the club. So say for instance you submit 11 rares, you get back 3 informs from this one slot machine, and then you could do it with 11 informs and get like maybe what's a good example? Maybe like a freeze card of some sort. Then you do the same with the freeze cards, and you can upgrade to like a record breaker or something like that. I think that would be a good concept, but then again, it's like working out how to get the factors to work. Like if you could do it with players, you could do it with players. If you could do it with coins, FIFA points, etc. I think that will be a good certain aspect to FIFA in general. I think it'll be a fun way to obviously earn upgradable cards. Like you could earn them through obviously upgrading that. But yeah. Oh. No worries. And yeah, that's just my opinion. I think if they implemented a slot machine, I think that would be a lot of fun, or maybe like a roulette wheel of some sort.
Yeah, no, do you remember talking of that, do you remember that old video that circulated? It was probably about 2016 when that guy made like a fake slot machine on FIFA, and everyone was like, oh my god, they're bringing this, because he was like, oh, this is coming out to FIFA soon, whatever. That was sick, and that was a very similar concept, and it was that he spent coins, and the more coins you put in, it was like the rewards changed. So yeah, he was like, oh, if I'm going to do this one for 10k, and he had the chance of getting like 50k coins back, or like 1,000 coins, or like some regular gold cards, and then he was like, okay, now do it for $1 million, and there were like icons, team of the seasons, team of the years. It's such a sick idea, but EA are never going to make it like a reward for us, are they? Let's be honest.
And that's the thing. Like, obviously, it's a factor. It's like something that I'd personally like to see, because I find it will be more enjoyable. to like grind the game. And obviously, like you could probably submit like untradables and get like 3 tradable players back.
Yeah.
You know, you can get, for example, say for 11 informs you put in, you get a Neymar, 50k coins, and maybe like a certain amount of packs.
Yeah.
You know, I think that would make the game more enjoyable. It'd make it more rewarding. Taking away like the pay to win aspect and all that. You know, if you're submitting cards into this, I think that would be a very viable way of actually making the game more enjoyable. Because a lot of people like to see packs and whatnot. I think implementing a slot machine into the game, if it ever does happen, EA, I'll be charging you.
No, they'll be charging you.
Nah, I just think that would be a sick way of like helping like grinders and RTGs and whatnot, rather than the pay-to-win aspect. I think that will be a great concept. You know, having one player, a certain amount of coins, and then like a certain amount of packs at the end. For example, like 2 mega packs or something. Yeah, I think that would be great.
No, and I think that kind of really that what if part of the discussion is kind of, you know, it's all very hopeful. We're all hopeful that one day this game will be a bit more bearable and a bit easier to grind out and give us more to do, because I will happily sit and admit I've become a menu streamer. I definitely have, because gameplay is not the one. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed our discussions on European football and our discussions on FIFA. I know James is currently muted because I think someone's shouting at a telephone. I think that's what's going on. But we are going to end this podcast here. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Of course, if you have, please do leave a like on it. It supports us and the channel a whole bunch. So thank you, of course, everyone who does. If you are still watching right now, comment down below. Let us know any things you'd like to hear us talk about, because we take it in turns to pick topics and stuff, and obviously we can use those comments to help us come up with topics and things to talk about. So if you have topic ideas or things to discuss, then please do pop them down below. Of course, if you're new to this channel, yes, go for it.
Before we end, I reckon we should do a reaction soon to like certain videos. So if you have any reactions or clips, whatnot, put them in the description or comment section, sorry. And we'll react to 1 or 2 of them. I think that'll be pretty funny.
There we go. That's Shane's video idea sorted out.
We'll make it an extra upload maybe as well, if I can get around to editing.
Oh, all right. There we go. If Shane can edit, he'll get us an extra upload. That sounds sick. I'm down for that. But yeah, make sure you have hit the sub button as well. Turn notifications on to see every time we upload a video. At the moment, it's every single Friday at 6 PM, I believe. James, is that right? Yes, smash it. Awesome. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Make sure you sub to all our channels as well. I think all the links are in the description. But that's it from us, guys. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I've been Tom. James has been James. Shane's been Shane. You guys have been awesome, and we'll see you soon. Look after yourselves. And of course, wash those hands. In a bit, guys.